It was a shot heard around the world on the day Intel and Micron Technology announced their 3D cross-point resistive memory, or RRAM. It's the first new memory technology in 3 decades. More importantly, it comes at the intersection of big data, the Internet of Things, and a growing performance gap in memory due to Moore's law shrinking. We're going to have a conversation about this with Jim Handy from Objective Analysis. He's one of the most respected memory analysts in the world today. This is WeVision. I'm Dan Hutcheson. Welcome to the program, Jim.
Well, thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, was it a big deal when this new thing came out?
It was interesting because I almost didn't go to the announcement. Intel and Micron said that they were going to have an announcement up in San Francisco, and they didn't really say what it was going to be about. And I said, do I really want to go an hour out of my way up there for something I don't know about? But I went up there, and it turned an awful lot of heads when it was up there. But it left, I think, everybody in the room with more questions than answers, because they really wouldn't say what it was that they were announcing.
Well, you're better than me because I didn't go. I mean, you know, memory, yeah, okay. Intel Micron is going to be some flash thing, right?
Yeah.
And but yeah, it turns out it's a really big deal, right?
It's certainly getting an awful lot of attention. It seems like more people are trying to second guess what the technology is than anything. It's, you know, so far they're not saying what it is, and so everybody's got their own opinions. But I think I've heard about, you know, 5, 6, 7 different opinions about what it is, each one of them held with great certainty.
Yeah. At the Flash Memory Summit, you had some really interesting things to say. You gave a talk there about this whole technology and what it means, and you know, and one of your points was the memory hierarchy, and Intel talks about it sort of fitting in that. How do you see it playing out?
The memory hierarchy is an interesting thing because so few people really talk about it. But what it is, and I've got a diagram there to show you, is that there are several different steps in the memory hierarchy. That you have these things that are extremely expensive that are used in very small quantities, and then below them are things that are cheaper that are used in larger quantities, a little bit slower. And you can go all the way from, in the diagram it shows an L1, an L2, and an L3 cache if your processor happens to have that many caches in it. And then it works down to DRAM, and then in the older situations you had hard disk drive, which was significantly slower than DRAM, about 1,000,000 times slower than DRAM. And then below that, magnetic tape, which was typically used for archival storage, which is just incredibly slow but also incredibly cheap.